Hey friends, Rick from BCW Supplies here with the FAB Breakdown, breaking down all news, flesh and blood. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about upcoming events as well as the news from Legend Story Studios regarding the Flesh and Blood World Championship and some of the controversy that it sparked over the weekend. Up first, let's talk about the upcoming events. This weekend, today is Monday, August 15th. So this weekend we have the Calling in Singapore that will be taking place and streamed on Twitch. Now, just a side note about this Calling, we also have a contest or a giveaway that is going on from Legend Story Studios, partnered with Secret Lab, where they're giving away one of the Secret Lab chairs with the Legend Story Studios logo on it. Now, these chairs are absolutely beautiful. I got to see one at Pro Tour #1 in New Jersey. It is a retweet to win with a couple of companies you have to follow, obviously Secret Labs and Legend Story Studios. So definitely head over to Twitter, enter this contest for your chance to win a wonderful Secret Labs chair. Super comfortable chairs, high quality chairs, and this one is absolutely gorgeous. See photos of it online. I'm gonna enter, I want one. So, I'm just telling you, if you're watching this and you haven't entered, probably should enter. The winner will be announced during the stream of the Calling. All right, the other event that we have going on this weekend is the event that I personally will be at. This is the SCG Con Baltimore. SCG Con Baltimore is taking place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Baltimore Convention Center, and it's Magic and Flesh and Blood. For Flesh and Blood, it's a Blitz-tastic weekend. We have a teams event for Blitz on Friday. We have a skirmish Blitz taking place on Saturday, and then on Sunday we have the Battle Hardened, which is also Blitz. So I put out on Twitter while I was out sick this past week, asking what hero should I play. I gave 3 options plus the other button option for a vote, and a chance to write in. So we had some Kanos written in, we had Chain written in, but with 44% of the votes going to Boost Dash, it's going to be Boost Dash that I'm playing in one of those events. Whether it's the Skirmish or the Battle Hardened event, I will be playing Boost Dash. In fact, it's sleeved up right now, ready to go. So stick around, follow me on Twitter for all the ongoings and up-to-date events that are going on at SCG Con when it comes to the Blitz weekend. Super excited to be there. I love going to the city of Baltimore. A lot of great food and a lot of fun to be had. So if you're there, make sure you say hi. I love talking about Flesh and Blood, or we can talk about Magic, don't care. But we can hang out and have a good time. Make sure you say hi. It's always a pleasure to meet people that actually watch my content. So please do that. Now, on to the news of the week. Now, this is news that came out last week, but it's taken a couple of days to really kind of read up and process everything that's going on it, and that was the announcement of the formats for Worlds, as well as the Calling and Battle Hardened that are going to coincide with Worlds in November. Now, this is going to take me a little bit to get through because I'm going to break it up into a couple of different sections. First, we're going to talk about the formats because that created a controversy. Then we're going to talk about the payout because that created another controversy in the Twitterverse, or also on Discord as well, I believe. But really on Twitter, I saw some people not so happy with the format. So I've taken a screenshot right here and we're going to talk about it. And I've also linked an article from fabtcg.com in the description of this video. So if you want to read it along for yourself, the link's right below here. Go down there, click it, read it, awesome. If not, if you haven't read it, or if you just want to follow along, I'll do my best to make it as concise as possible. So we have the format here. Now, day 1 on Friday is going to be first 3 rounds draft. Then we have class constructed for rounds 4 through 8. This is pretty standard. Day 1, this is standard. This is how the Pro Tour was. This is how Nationals was. Perfectly fine with it. Day 2, however, we start with 3 rounds of draft again. This is draft number 2. And then we go into Blitz rounds. Yeah, Blitz at World Championship. This created a little bit of controversy on Twitter. There are some people that believe that Blitz is a very high variance, swingy, not so competitive format. It's very hard to have good game against all the heroes. So now you get down to either playing something extremely busted or trying to out-meta the meta and pick the right deck and the right hero and have the good matchups, playing for potentially top 8. Now, this can have a huge impact on it, but a lot of fans took to Twitter in kind of a negative light about Blitz being the format. I don't share the negativity. In fact, my personal point of view is that for the World Championship, you should be the best at the game in all phases of the game. Now, we really can't do a Ultimate Pit Fighter, but I wouldn't have been mad if they put Commoner up there. That's a format, okay? But probably not the most interesting format to really watch or play competitively. So I'm fine with Blitz being up there. Blitz does have variance. You have more heroes. You have a smaller health pool. So your health as a resource is harder to play with than Class Constructed. You have a smaller deck because you're only playing 40 cards, not 60 cards. You do not get a sideboard out of your deck. You get a sideboard instead, and you can pack more equipment typically. So yeah, it's really interesting. You know, there are some very polarized Blitz matchups out there, but I think that the good players still will win. In fact, one of my friends who's a really good player just went undefeated on the weekend playing in 2 different skirmish events. And, you know, it's not a variance thing. They played a wide variety of different decks, or against different decks rather, and still managed to win. And they weren't playing Fi. So there you go. It is possible to play in this meta. You just have to practice it. If you 3-0 your draft pod, now you're really sitting pretty good to make day 2 going into Class Constructed. Then you're gonna have to have a Class Constructed deck, and you're gonna have to play your Class Constructed deck very well in order to day 2. Now, you've day 2'd, you go back into a draft, and then you go into Blitz. Let's say you have an immaculate record. Let's say that you have only 1 or 2 losses and you're going into Blitz. You're going to be playing against the other top-rated players. So now you have to have a Blitz deck prepared as well, as far as having all your lines, knowing what you're doing, and get as many games in with Blitz and Class Constructed. Now, to call yourself a world champion, I think this is the ladder you need to climb. I really do. I think that this is the pinnacle. You are not just the best limited player. You are not just the best at a Class Constructed deck and you're limited, you barely, you know, snuck through, but you're also good at Blitz as well. So yeah, I think this is LSS showing off everything that this game has to offer. This is the first time that World Champions is gonna really be a big production, I hope. I'm really hoping that they've got a great coverage team, that they're gonna be streaming this and they're gonna be showing all of the pros and cons of their game and trying to capture a bigger percentage of the TCG market. This is actually huge, and I love the fact that they're including the Blitz format, because the Blitz format is how I got started in Flesh and Blood. It was the barrier of entry that I felt comfortable getting into the game with, and I think showing that off at Worlds is crucial for the game to be successful, or continue to be successful. It's already successful. So, really excited about Blitz being there, but not everybody in the community felt that way, even to the point that James White, the owner of LSS, jumped on Twitter to defend the decision for Blitz being at Worlds, talking about the variance and talking about percentages. Now, James has access to a lot of information because they get all the reports from the skirmishes, they get all the reports from all of the events, and they can look at the microdata that we don't necessarily have all the information for. So, super excited that they're sticking to their guns, super excited that it's going to be a triple format World Championship. All right, so next up we're talking about the prize payout, and get that slide up right there, all right? And that is the second controversy that came out of this single announcement about Worlds. And you can see the big disparity that a lot of people were complaining about is first place and second place. So first place, you win the whole thing, you're the world champion, you win $100,000. That is a huge prize. Nothing to scoff at. That is an awesome prize. But second place, you get $25,000. So you were the finalist, and you only get $25,000. Now, $25,000 is a lot of money. I'm not going to say that it's not. In fact, that is a lot of money. But your pay gap between first and second is $75,000, and that's really huge. And not a lot of events have the top 8 prize structured like this. But it's the World Championship, and the prize payout, I think, is fair. I think first place has a lot more of just wow factor to it. I mean, that's a lot of money. But the second place prize is more than what I think is fair for compensation for being a finalist in a World Championship event. Then you look at third and fourth at 16.5, and then you look at 8th through 5th, and that is $7,500. Again, top 8ing, you're making a lot of money. In fact, you can see the other prize payouts at the article, and it pays out quite well just for doing well at this event. So hats off to LSS for putting out a great prize structure. However, you might want to address the gap between second and first. I mean, that is massive. Maybe that's what they intended. Maybe they really just wanted to reward the person who won Worlds. Yeah, you did. Good job. Bravo. I will not be that person, but I'm a little envious of that person, whoever they may be. So, but that created a controversy, once again, proving that it doesn't matter if you gave everybody who played your game $100 bills. Some people would find a way to complain about how that $100 bill was folded when you gave it to them. So, again, does it really matter at the end of the day? No. This isn't a bad prize payout. It's lopsided, it's top heavy, but it's not a bad payout because second place is still $25,000. It would be one thing if first place was $25,000 and second place was $500. That would be lopsided, or keep it in perspective. If it was $25,000 and you only got $5,000 for being a finalist, I mean, that's kind of a big slap in the face for that big prize jump. But $25,000 for one weekend of playing a game and being a finalist, I would be okay with $25,000 and coming in second. Just going to be honest. I would be happy just, playing at the Pro Tour or playing at the World Championship, as it were, because it seems like a good event. But yes, there is a huge prize gap, and some people felt the need to point it out on Twitter. That's it. That was the controversies out of the World Championship announcements from LSS. I personally think that Blitz being in the format is a good thing. I think it's really testing the competitors to be good, not just at Class Constructed and Draft, but also bringing that third element in a Blitz. I think it's great for LSS to show it off. I think the prize payout is very attention-getting, which is probably why they set it up this way. I mean, they want that first place person to win $100,000. There you go. You won $100,000. You won 6 figures. That's amazing. So congratulations to the future winner. In fact, congratulations to any of the top 8 at the World Championship in November. Now, along with the World Championship, we also have the calling, which will be Class Constructed. It's not a split format, and that will start on Saturday and conclude on Sunday. And then on Sunday, we have the Battle Hardened, which will be Blitz. So we're going to see all 3 of these events take place over that first weekend in November. Super excited. I'm undetermined yet whether or not I will be a part of it, or as far as in there personally. November is kind of a little bit busy around here for me. So, maybe I can be there, maybe I won't be there. We'll see. But super excited that we have this information out here. And that's going to do it for the news from LSS. Again, James White being active on social media, defending Blitz. Kudos to you, sir. Thank you for doing that. And finally, we did get a little bit of a teaser. August 30th, we're going to start getting Dynasty information. Now, I don't know what kind of information we're going to get. Dynasty is the new set coming for Flesh and Blood. It does have a November 2022 release date range on the website. but we don't really have any information. We don't know what Dynasty is. The graphic looks very much kind of like what we've already been seeing for Uprising. I don't know what this is going to be. I'm going to stay tuned. I hope you stay tuned as well. And as soon as I know something, I'll share it with you fine folks. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Fab Breakdown. Thank you for tuning in to my ramblings and to the breakdown of what is going on. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. Help spread the word of the Fab Breakdown. If you're going to be at SCG Baltimore once again, say hi or follow me on Twitter. I do giveaways. I post about events. I'll post some pictures about the upcoming events and any related news. So until next time, get out there, play flesh and blood in the flesh and blood, but most importantly, remember, be kind.